Alright, how's it going? We're going to be jumping straight into this episode. This time around, it's going to be a fairly random but cool collection of mods. Just to name a few, we've got some inter-franchise Stormtroopers, a pretty badass Sith from Legends, and a pretty sweet mod called the Siege of Mandalore based on the cancelled final season of the Clone Wars. I'm pretty excited for this one. It's nice to see the mods for this game start to get better and cooler as the game matures. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get started. We'll start with a skin mod that could be easily used for some serious thumbnail clickbait, that being Darth Talon by Gabertonov. If you're unfamiliar with this character, she's a character from Legends during Darth Krayt's One Sith Order shenanigans, which takes place after Episode 6. She served as one of his hands, often being tasked with Krayt's most important missions. Long story short, she's a badass Sith Lady Twi'lek that we will unfortunately probably never see as a canon character. She's a fairly popular character from Legends, for well, let's just say certain reasons. Definitely not what you're thinking of right now. Trust me, it's perfectly clean and family-friendly reasons. Anyways, as for the model itself, it replaces Rey on the light side, which is kinda weird. Obviously, it makes more sense for her to be a dark side hero, but that's far from a deal breaker. The model itself is extremely detailed. All the Sith tattoos look amazing. I'm not sure if they're actually 100% accurate or anything, but either way, who cares when they look this cool? This skin really made me appreciate the Twi'lek model in this game a lot more as well. It was really well done. One neat thing to note is when she's blocking, she shoots out force lightning directly in front of her, making her hella deadly in tight corridors or in small rooms. It's a nice little touch that makes her feel all the more badass. All in all, I really wish Disney made this canon. Moving on to a very small but neat mod that fans of the OG Battlefront 2, myself included, will probably like is the classic Battlefront 2 loading screen by Official Mango. As I'm sure you can guess by the title, it does exactly what the name would suggest. Upon startup of Battlefront 2, you'll be greeted by this classic picture from the classic and fantastic original Battlefront 2. You will still see the EA and DICE logos afterwards, so you don't get to stare at this beauty for the whole startup period, but it is better than nothing. And maybe the only plus of having either an old PC or a normal hard drive, you'll get to stare at this even longer than the rest of us. Next up, we have a pretty interesting AI tweak in the form of the AI jump jets by Crazy Ivan 777. Quickly, I'll mention that there won't be a link to this mod in the description. You will have to download the RAR file directly from the modding Discord. The author's gone ahead and added jetpacks, or jump jets, whatever the hell you want to call them, to the AI units in Arcade in the attempt to make the game feel more like Battlefront 2015. Included inside this mod is his AI tweaks mod that makes the AI smarter and gives them the ability to do things like crouch and whatnot. The AI now has the ability to hover like they do in the campaign, adding another layer to the arcade experience. Now they really do actually just hover for a bit in one position. They unfortunately do not have the ability to fly around using the jetpacks, which would have made for something really cool. I can only imagine how hard that would be to mod in though. So once they're engaged in combat, the AI will somewhat randomly take to the sky. This can make things kinda tricky when facing a larger group of bots, since they won't really group up or line up as much anymore and will shoot you from more and varying angles. It makes arcade gameplay a bit more enjoyable and a little less predictable. Plus it's kinda cool to just see a bunch of units flying at will. A few things you'll probably notice is first, the unit models don't actually receive any jetpack models. The flames just kind of come out their ass. It's not something you really notice though while actually playing. One of the more pronounced quirks, and honestly what may be my favorite part of all this, is the droids get in some pretty damn uncomfortable positions. Like, I mean really uncomfortable. It's kind of funny to watch. It also makes for some really great ragdolls. Now this mod is all well and great, but the absolute best way to use it is in conjunction with a mod called the Siege of Mandalore. Siege of Mandalore mod by Fake Mophead may be the coolest mod for this game that I've seen yet. It's a somewhat recreation of the cancelled final season arc of the Clone Wars animated series named the Siege of Mandalore. In this arc, we would have seen a massive final battle for the planet of Mandalore between the Republic and Darth Maul and his force of Super Commandos. For those of you who don't know, the Super Commandos are basically a splinter cell of the Death Watch. All the while, right in the middle of the battle, Chancellor Palpatine would have initiated Order 66, plunging the entire planet into chaos. Quite unfortunately, we will probably never see what had the potential to be one of the best arcs of the show, but at least we have mods like this that will serve to keep the story alive. The mod replaces the stock light and dark sides with Ahsoka's 332nd Battalion and Maul's Super Commandos. Hopefully by now you can kinda see why the AI jump jet mod is important here. I called it a somewhat recreation of the cancelled arc because we of course don't have an actual Mandalore map to play this with, something that would be kind of important for a complete recreation. Hopefully someday we will get one, whether it be through mods or the game devs themselves, but really, a man can only dream. Since the mod replaces all these standard light side and dark side troopers, you can play this on any arcade map instead of being limited to just certain era specific ones, which is really nice. The skins are really well done for both sides. The clones are detailed, clean, and look fantastic, but the real showstopper is the Super Commandos. They might be some of my favorite skins I've seen yet in this game. They look pretty damn close to their depiction in the TV show, so naturally they look just as badass. I do wish there was some variation in between the troopers, though I'm not sure if that's even possible. Seeing some really cool designs, like the Commandos with these Zabrak style horns on their helmets, would really go a long way to making this mod even better. Overall, the mod is fantastic. It really makes arcade so much more enjoyable. From the beautiful models to the cool integration of AI jetpacks, there's really no reason to play arcade without these mods. It's also really cool to see mods start to get a little more intricate and show some really cool promise. Have you ever been playing this game and found yourself completely overcome with the urgent desire to play as a really terrible and completely useless droid not at all designed for combat? And if you say no, that's a lie. We've all had these same gonk droid fantasies and there is no need to be ashamed of it. And for those of you who answered yes, then this mod is for you. This is the C-3PO skin by Dragons Vader. Except there's a bit of a twist to it. This C-3PO isn't that same useless one from Attack of the Clones.
Die, Jedi dogs! What did I say? Dear, I'm terribly sorry about all this.
This one is actually kick-ass in a fight. The skin replaces Han on the light side roster. He also keeps all the same abilities, so now you can play as a gunslinging, shiny ass, killing machine. The best part is easily the shoulder charges. There's just something so damn satisfying laying into Stormtroopers with a giant heap of metal. Aside from all the fun this model is, there's a couple issues to quickly mention. Not all of his body parts are actually the same color, but honestly, I didn't even notice until I started filming the close-up shots, so that's no deal breaker to me. You will also still hear Han's voice clips, which is kind of unimmersive.
Han Solo, I'm captain of the Millennium Falcon.
But this whole thing is unimmersive to begin with, and that's honestly half the fun, so who gives a damn? Final words on the skin, Kid Anakin done goofed. This is the droid he definitely should have built. Moving on to the shovelware portion of the episode, we've got some pretty funny skins by Darth Vader modding. These being the Batman and Flash Stormtroopers. DC has invaded Star Wars, boyos. I'm not much of a DC Universe fan myself, but I do have to admit that these are pretty damn great. They are definitely a fun little reskin. And honestly, for being a joke skin mod, they are pretty well done. They may not be the cleanest things out there, but are both more than acceptable. If anything, they may be even a little bit more detailed than they really needed to be. And the best part is, they even come with some neat abilities and superpowers. Okay, well that was an obvious lie. These yellow boots though, they really just kill me for some reason. I think they just look hilarious. Honestly, these are just a couple of fun skins to dick around with. I can also imagine they could be put to great use in making some sort of like parody cinematic, That would be pretty damn funny to see. If you do like these two skins, the same author has made plenty more skins just like them. He's been quite the contributor to the shovelware section if that's your thing, so definitely check them out. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this collection of mods for episode 3. I plan to keep these videos coming out every couple of weeks, so if you do want to see more, it would be greatly appreciated if you stick around. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.